Hi everyone, my name is Esther and I'm a nurse in Kenya. Shout out to Nurse Kathiana who is in the US. Thank you so much for accepting to do this video with me. We're going to compare nursing in the US and nursing in Kenya, and we're also going to see the similarities. Thank you so much, Nurse Kathiana, for accepting to do this. Please, people, go and check out her YouTube channel, subscribe to her channel, and also don't forget to follow her on Instagram. And I'm so excited to do this video. I hope it's going to be of help.
Today we're doing a very interesting and different type of video. Today we are doing a collab video all about nursing in America versus nursing in Kenya. You guys do not want to miss this.
So Esther here has several years of experience. I'm old, by the way. So after I did my nursing council exams, as I was awaiting for the license, I worked at a children's home here in Nairobi for a while. Before my license came, that's when I started working in a hospital.
I am a cardiac RN. I was an LPN, which is a licensed practical nurse, which is a technical nurse. For 3 years, I worked nursing home, I worked independent living, I did home health, and that was for 3 years. And then in November 2019, I went and I took my NCLEX for my RN, and I passed, and now I work in a hospital on the cardiac unit with cardiac patients. What kind of patients do I deal with? Well, my population in my hospital is like 80 plus. So a lot of the patients that I get is geriatrics, which I love because I love the older population.
So I work in a general surgery department. This is a specialty that deals and focuses on abdominal contents, including the esophagus, the large and small intestines, the stomach, the liver, pancreas, gallbladder, appendix, bile ducts, and the thyroid gland. We also deal with the skin, breasts, soft tissues, and trauma. So mostly we also deal with head injury patients, acute conditions. So especially on Fridays and end month, we usually see a lot of patients with head injury because of fights and those accidents, because of driving and all that. We also deal with maxillofacial cases, for example, ossifying squamous cell carcinomas, maybe abscesses in the tooth and all that. Do you pick the time and hours you want to work as a nurse? No, we don't pick, because if you were to pick the time and if you were also to pick the hours, everyone would want to favor themselves, or mostly, especially during the weekends and public holidays, no one would want to work during the weekends and public holidays. So we do not choose.
Nursing here in the hospital is pretty flexible. You do 3/12s, and if you want, you can pick up days. Right now, my schedule is 3/12s. I pick it out, and then every other week I do 4 days. I pick out my schedule, but at the end of the day, the unit supervisor has to look it over and make sure that it makes sense for the floor. So if she needs to move my days around a little bit, she'll do that based on what they need for that day. The conditions in my hospital is okay. They provide everything that we need in regards to PPE or drips or anything like that. They even provide markers, Sharpies, so that I like that aspect of my job.
So another question was about the conditions around my workplace. Let me say they're averagely okay. I can't complain, but maybe they still need to improve. They provide tea, and they also provide us with some small supplies.
The flexibility, I would say yes, my job is flexible because you're only doing 3/12, so it's really not hard for you to do what you want to do on those 4 days off. You can bundle your 3 days and just have them 3 days straight and have 4 days in a row, or you can even have like 8 days in a row if you bundle them 3 in the beginning and then 3 in the end of the week the next week. So it works out really nicely. And if you need any days off, for mine is all computerized, so if I need any days off, I can just go ahead and let them know what I'm going to be doing, and they will give me the days off.
Another question is about ratio. My ratio is quite wanting. We usually have our wards are usually loaded. They're really loaded because it's a referral hospital, and let me say you can find a ward with, let me say, 50 patients, and we only have 4 nurses on duty. So maybe it's 1 to 10, kinda overwhelming, but we do our best, and we're there for our patients. So it's 1 to 10, let me say around there, but sometimes it's even more than that.
My ratio. I have got a lot of controversy over my ratio. My ratio is 8 to 1. I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy. A lot of hospitals don't do that. I know, but this is Florida, and these are Florida rules, and my hospital happens to be 8 to 1. I can't fight it. Like, that's how it's been for a while. So I understand 8 to 1 is a lot. It's in the back of my mind, guys. So yeah, mine is 8 to 1. It is a lot for a cardiac unit because, you know, your patients can code any second, honestly, especially if you have a lot of drips going on or anything like that. So yeah, 8 to 1. Does my employer cover medical? Yes, my employer cover medical. They cover a lot of my medical expenses. They cover my medical, my eye insurance, and that's it, I believe. So they take that automatically out of each check each month, and that's how that works. It's really not a lot. Maybe they take like $6 or $10 each check. I really don't look to see how much it is, honestly, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you right now, but it's not a lot. They take it out your check and you have health insurance.
Yeah, my employer covers for my insurance. They cover for you, your spouse, and the children, and they don't deduct anything from our salary, and we are covered for inpatient and outpatient and all the procedures that are around the hospital. But unfortunately, we cannot go to another hospital unless that procedure is not done. It's not at our hospital. That's when you can go to another hospital. So the employer will have to raise an LPO, which you'll go with to the other hospital.
So nursing yearly salary. So this is kind of controversial too, because in the US, supposedly nurses in the US make $75K. Again, these numbers can increase or decrease based on your specialty, based on how long you've been a nurse, based on what state you work in. For example, Florida makes $65K, supposedly. And yeah, if you haven't seen my new grad residency video, how much I get paid, you need to watch that, because that will help to open your eyes a little bit on the range that people in Florida make. But yeah, it does say people in Florida make $65K. I feel like that's not enough, but again, it does range from experience, because I actually saw that people or regular nurses can make up to $100K as well. So it just depends on your specialty, how long you've been a nurse, where you're working, what state, all those things come into play. So it's flexible.
And how much do nurses make a year? We don't have a standard amount of money that we make, because as I said earlier, we have different institutions. We have nurses who work in different institutions. We have those who work with NGOs. You have those who work with private hospitals, public hospitals, and those who work with maybe the insurance companies. So different nurses earn differently, but approximately in a government institution, in a government hospital, let me say, if it's let me say the best paying public hospital in Kenya, maybe a referral hospital, or if it's a parastatal, the salary ranges from, let me say, for starters, from around 100 from around 100 for starters, and then For those experienced ones, for experienced nurses, they can go up to 300,000. I'm not sure.
6, does nursing increase pay with experience? Yes, it does increase with experience. I know a lot of pool nurses, which are just like PRN, which is per diem or as needed nurses, and they get paid a lot more than us regular floor nurses because they're on call. I also know traveler nurses do get paid a lot more at my hospital as well. So those are some of the opportunities that you have to make more money. And also, like, you kind of just got to follow where it goes. Sometimes nurses will follow the strikes, and where the strikes are, they'll go and work for them while the nurses are on strike. And they make a lot of money. Right now with this COVID going on, there's a lot of travel nurses making like 10K a week. So you just kind of got to follow the trend wherever it's going right now. Like, where's making the most, you have to go there.
Does your salary increase with the working experience? So for us here in Kenya, we have private hospitals and government hospitals. So for the private hospitals, I'm not sure about the salary increment, but for the public institutions, yeah, salary usually increases. For example, where I work, it increases after every 3 years. That means after every 3 years, you're promoted to another job group and the salary is increased.
So the next question is license renewal. So it definitely varies. I saw online that you have to first do your CEUs, which is like online courses that you have to take to update your knowledge. And then it varies on your expiration date. For example, I passed on October 21st, 2019, and mine expires April 30th, 2021. So typically it's like 2 years. Depends on if you do it on an even or an odd year. Since I did mine on an odd year, I have to renew it on an odd year. If you did it on an even year, you have to do it on an even year. But it's typically about 2 years. And it costs $75 if you have an active license.
We usually renew our licenses yearly, and we pay 1,500 shillings every year. Like mine, I renewed it in December 2019, so it will be due for renewal in December 2020. So you can do it either online, which is easier, or if you maybe where you live is near the offices of you, or if you're around the offices, nursing council offices, you can go and renew from there. Then you'll be given your license. So guys, thank you so much for watching my video. I'm so humbled, and thank you so much to my supporters. Thank you so much, my subscribers. And if you watched this video and you've not subscribed, please subscribe. And if you have any questions or any additional points, don't forget to leave it on the comment section. Bye. See you in my next video.